Hello, hello.
Oh, hello. Um, so I guess this is a fact-finding session. Figure out what would be useful for you. What this is really for you. What would be yeah, what do you want these meetings to focus on? What are you looking to get from them?
I'm used to now having I'm blessed. Many people are calling,
Yeah.
and we usually start with what challenges I'm having for the day and see where that takes us.
Okay.
So today, as it's been for maybe a week now, I'm having trouble eating and drinking. You'd like what Michelle and I did today. She asked me to focus on what's going on. And I felt a nice armor from my groin to my throat, like that's needed and it left. It said it would like to leave. It was picked up by a chain and replaced with the baby skin underneath it.
Mhm.
And when I asked the armor where it wanted to go into parts for Michelle's car. And I'm now, with the help of you and others, seem able, as Jesus said,
Mm.
to be as innocent as a babe
Mm.
and as subtle as a serpent. Unfortunately, that didn't help me eat much, but I ate a very little, and I'm not excessively dosing.
Mm. Mm.
And I'm still having hope, although I could die soon without enough drinking.
Mhm.
I still have hope from those stories that it'll all go away.
Yeah. Mm.
And I'm very content to leave if I have to. I'd
Mm.
love to make it to my presentation January 11th,
Right.
if I can. But that's icing on the cake. I
Right.
was able to live and get married.
Yes.
And now I want to write my Abraham book as much as I can and my talk.
Wow. You must have chapters of your Abraham book or like essays or what? Um,
I've written it at least twice.
Right. That's yeah. Hmm.
I finally, well, in the story, you might not know it well.
Hmm.
Abraham is promised by someone they call Lord. His seed will inherit the land. But it's a very subtle writer like you. And the seed is really the father of the Arabs,
Hmm.
the father of the Jews
Right.
is definitely adopted. And in a very challenging way to connect with him, Abram has to raise a knife
Mm.
over him.
Right.
So he owes his life to Abraham. And then they can connect as father and son.
Hmm.
And then for good reason, Isaac never sees him again when Abraham is alive.
Is that true? Oh, I
Yep,
didn't know that.
yep,
Hmm.
that's in the Bible.
Hmm.
I mean, the Gemara says otherwise, but the Bible just says that.
Hmm.
So it's a great call for a one-state solution. I really hope I can get it out. I hope, I hope. And it had to wait till now to make it clear that I really wanted them to live together, whether they like it or not. And good, we've recorded this.
Yes.
I'll send you the recording.
Okay, great. Yeah. It seems like you have complete, like, mental clarity and energy to be like thinking and writing. And does that feel true?
Yes, the technology of it is getting harder. Where it is on the computer,
Uh-huh.
where
Yeah,
I left it,
right.
I can still think about this. But we'll have this one we can put on YouTube. We can. I have someone who can do that,
Yeah,
but only if you're comfortable.
yeah. Well, I mean, we could put you on YouTube. I'd have to be a little more prepared, maybe.
Yes, you might not want to be associated with this.
No, it's not that. I mean, not feeling camera ready,
Yeah,
but
well, when you are,
yeah.
when you are,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm very, very grateful. I had a doula, but he left for Texas.
Really?
And we could have continued, but we both didn't feel it.
Okay. Okay. What were you doing with him?
The same thing.
Okay.
I'm close to psychic skills.
Mm-hmm.
Say what's going on. And this doesn't need to be one way. It wasn't with him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love it not to be if you
Yeah.
feel moved to share what's going on with you.
Yeah. 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 No, I would love that. Well, I've been thinking a lot about, uh, you probably know, I was thinking about thresholds. Um, and I just turned 50 and sort of thinking about moving into, I mean, it's not literal, but moving into the second half of something and just what it means to cross that line and how many thresholds there are in the course of a life. I mean, anything can be a threshold. And then I was going to look up the word because what a strange word. And I don't know the etymology. I don't know if you do.
Um, I mean, it's connected with threshing, I believe,
Hmm.
originally, but I'd have to look it up because
Yeah.
it's taken on a wide, wide meaning.
Yes.
But probably from the threshing floors to begin with, they separate wheat from chaff.
Right. Right. But yeah, I'm just sort of curious where, because it's not an intuitive connection to me, the threshing and then the threshold. I don't know. But um I've just been, yeah, thinking about why I've been interested in working with people who are going through this transition. Um, and when I had my children, I considered becoming a birth doula, for the same reason, being interested in that transition, from transition from just individual to mother, um, from that perspective. But um, similarly drawn, feeling like I don't get freaked out by those transitions. I have a sort of zoomed out perspective and I feel like I can be a calming presence. But then I wasn't interested enough to really pursue it. But when I started thinking about working in hospice and the death doula, I was like, oh, here I am thinking about doulaing again. And what does that mean? And just thinking of those sort of life transitions and thresholds. And um, I started looking up, I don't know, you may know this man. I don't know how well known this is. To me, it was new, but do you know John O'Donohue?
Now, maybe I heard the name, but nothing
He's
more.
an Irish poet, philosopher, and priest. He wrote a book called To Bless the Space Between Us. From he died in 2008. Anyway, he wrote this really lovely piece. I'll send you this link, about thresholds and what it means to move from one thing to another. So I was just reading that this morning and thinking about it.
And I was involved in one of your thresholds.
Yes,
Mhm.
many.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, that's true. That was a big one. Yeah, yeah. I'm not, and I always shy away from kind of like rituals, and making a big deal about marking these sorts of events. But I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think we should mark those transitions, but I'm always trying to downplay the meaning of things. So otherwise it feels too precious, I don't know.
I understand. No, I didn't. I just wanted to go to City Hall
Yeah,
and get a marriage certificate.
yeah,
But
right,
because Michelle was a
yeah,
woman,
right,
she wanted more ceremony.
right,
Rings
yeah. Right,
over one hand, rings, you can't see.
yeah,
Dresses, flowers, witnesses,
yeah, yep,
songs.
yeah,
And we worked it out. 5 people came.
Yeah. In the pictures, it looked, I mean, yeah, it looked like like you had a quorum. You had what's the the number of Jews you need to
10 million.
a minion, a minion. Okay. Oh, that's 10? Oh,
Yeah.
what? I thought it was 5. Oh, okay. Okay.
Thank you. You're my kind of doula.
Yeah. Yeah.
And feel free when it's time to just ask, and I'll probably agree, and I will do the same. I love to end with prayers.
Mm.
That works for you.
Yes, absolutely.
So I don't think of the actual dying. Although I do know without eat and drink, I feel a new peace come upon me.
Mm.
And I'm seeing people differently. Like I'm the painter you are,
Mm.
and could now begin to see even the particular smile of your cheekbone.
Right.
Yes, it's on the right for me.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And so people feel new
Yeah.
and children of God, really.
Mm.
I just learned when I have indigestion, which used to make me livid because I
Mm.
lose the life force,
Yeah.
lose the God force,
Mm.
that I can have it now and still be a child of God, feel like I'm a child.
Mm. Mm.
So that's been huge. I was always so angry.
Mm. Angry with your body.
Say a little more.
Well, we were saying that the indigestion would make you livid.
Yes,
So frustrated that your body wasn't kind of that it needed extra attention and care, or what was.
it didn't. I lost the love flow. I lost the God flow.
I see.
I had no desire to do anything.
Mm.
But now I've learned to, just these last 2 days,
Mm.
of all things, to go up to my head.
Mhm.
Whereas my whole life I wanted to go down to my body from my head.
Right.
And my head can have love flow and God flow and even want to do things when I'm really stopped up.
Right. Mm. Wow. I did a 40-day fast years ago in the year 2000. It's a sort of millennial experience. Actually, it was in the year 2000. And I was just doing liquids, and I remember the feeling of I mean, it's not exactly the same, but there was a clarity of perception and just feeling, we don't realize how noisy the body is and just limiting the number of hours I was spending eating or ingesting or whatever. It made such a difference in my mental clarity and just that feeling of, I just remember feeling like an antenna, and thinking, well, we should just never eat. Like, this is so much better.
My neighbor told me, I had known this, that there's vegetarians, fruitarians who only eat fruit, and airtarians who live on air.
Oh,
And they interviewed someone who claimed to be an airtarian in
oh,
India, and her job, of all things, was a cook.
so maybe the aromas were,
Yes.
yes. Oh, wow.
And I might, who knows, I might try that.
Yes. Wow.
Like a psychic skill
Yeah.
to
Right.
feel the nutrition
Yes. Yeah.
without having to eat it.
Right. Absorb it differently.
Yeah. But I am thirsty.
Mm. Yeah. And even drinking is challenging.
Yes, I can drink one or two. I can tell you one of my favorite jokes.
Okay.
You and I and Gaston are traveling to New York for a psychic conference.
Okay.
He might have other things to do there, but we're going. And on the night train, when we're all trying to sleep, we hear a voice from the back of the car. Oi! Am I thirsty? Oi! Am I thirsty? And after a little while, with compassion for yourself and him, you get up, you bring him a glass of water. And the whole car of people, you can hear them, sensitive as you are, breathe a sigh of relief.
Mm-hmm.
And feeling happy to be helpful as usual. You come back, you lie beside Gaston, across from me. Take a breath of relief and hear from the back of the car, Oi! Was I thirsty?
That's great. That's great.
And I feel that way now,
Yeah.
even after my few sips.
Yeah.
The people getting out from the Holocaust, some of them drank too much and died.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So each day is a new day to travel in. There are new challenges. And now today it's become clear, looking at people, I'm really seeing them the way you do as an artist.
Mm.
And they really, I can see the shadows on your face. the
Mhm.
shape of your hair,
Mhm.
lips. And I guess as a good artist, I could do a self-portrait of me.
Good.
Because usually, oh, that's me, that's Alexa. And then that's, wow. Well, you can tell me what you see if you like.
Mm. I see you very present, very fully here. Um,
Very fully what?
here.
Yep.
I don't feel you kind of on your way out. I You feel fully here, even with losing some faculties. Um, so that's more of a feeling than a seeing, I guess. Um,
Well, you can connect it to what you see if you like. Like
yeah,
what feature inspires that?
yes. I guess your eyes, your eyebrows, that you're looking and you're listening. I feel everything. Oh, it's hard with my background. I feel everything open and uh tuned in and attentive.
Yes, it seems when I feel love or God flow that I'm present. It takes me over. And as I discovered talking to you about a month or two ago, intuition and mind, maybe spirit, but certainly intuition and mind are working together
Yes, right.
and they're here. Probably spirit too, ways I don't understand. But intuition and mind, yeah.
Yeah.
And when that leaves, that's when I used to get so livid because it's so delicious and nutritious.
Yeah. Yeah. That reminded me of when my kids were very little and when I wasn't able to paint, or um I didn't have big blocks of time. And when I would try, because I knew people who would say, well, just paint from, 1 hour a day, just give yourself that time. But once I was in that place, um, I would feel such rage to be taken out of it. Um, I relate to what you're saying. When I would look at my clock and just be like, I have to, I just want to, I'm just here. Why do I have to leave this place? And so I found it easier to just not go there at all, just not even try, because it was so painful to have to switch out of it. And I couldn't figure out how to be in that place and be a mom. I imagine some people can, but um, yeah, now I'm looking at it and thinking, well, you had to go, so you had to go to the supermarket. Could you have gone to the supermarket with that place of wonder and creativity? Yeah, I probably could have, but I didn't have that in me at the time.
Yeah, maybe, but I understand, very poignantly put. And so now I can be stopped up and still there.
Yeah, yeah.
First time in 60 years.
Wow. Yeah, that is remarkable.
So I think my big gift to people now is to meet them on Zoom. It's very free to end when I feel like it. It's a little harder.
Right. Yes. Right.
And this absorbs me so I don't think about what's going to happen when I'm actually dying.
Mm.
I think it might be the same as this.
Maybe.
I guess the day feel I'm dying, I'll give you a call if you're free.
Please, please, please do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Anytime if I can't answer, I won't answer. So but if I'm free and around, I would love
Yeah.
to be
I'm
present.
not sure I need to make any plans for that day.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think I want it to be like any other day.
Hmm.
Maybe call a few of my very closest friends to say goodbye.
And do you know what um do you want people to come see you after you've died? Do you want
My brother said he paid for a service,
Okay.
so we're looking into one. I guess Michelle, I should send her the people to invite, but I think on those anybody could come.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever been to a creative Labor Day.
I have never. Labor Day, I'm never in Boston, but yeah.
So I have a friend of mine lead the people who come. I do it every Labor Day.
Yeah.
And they tell a story for 3 or 4 minutes. So we'll pick some people
Mm,
before him
mm,
to tell their stories and then have a brief open mic.
yeah.
And that will be it. And maybe it sounds more trouble to have that followed by a meal.
Right.
I think we'll do that without that. And people can gather themselves.
Right.
I would much prefer that.
Right.
That makes it super simple.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your questions. So that helped me work something important out.
Yeah. I'm glad because people will want to come and
Yep,
pay tribute.
yep. Well, is it time to pray?
Yes, that's great. My dog is scratching at the door. So
Okay. Well, I pray now that you have the leisure and inclination to go into that artistic state. And like today with us, stay as long as it's appropriate. Maybe say a prayer
mhm.
and then come back to the less artistic world or artistic in a different way.
Like in a different way. Yes. Thank you.
Hey, woman.
Can we pray with our hands for a minute? Oh, there.
Wow. Um, If you allow me to say it, I love you, Alexa.
I love you, Michael.
Blessings.
Blessings to you.
Shalom. Shalom.
We'll talk soon.